Frustrated me a lot, and I don't know why the Lord did that to me. He changed my message 3 times, but I obey him. I began a series last evening on loyalty. In the morning, the Lord spoke to me, and I said I would do it in the evening, only for me to finish preparing. That's why I sneaked out when Pastor Michael was preaching. And then just some few minutes before I came in, the Lord said, "You've not done what I told you to do. I brought you here for a purpose. So you either speak what I'm asking you to speak, or if you go and preach what I'm not asking you to preach, you take responsibility for what happens." So I think I'm excited to obey the Lord. And I think the coming of Pastor Simon confirms to me that God wants me to speak along that line. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 20, verse number 6. Hebrews 3, from verses 1 to verse number 6. Pastor Charles will do your song for you at the end of the message. Yesterday we did your song and you were not here. Okay, Proverbs 20, verse number 6. We'll all memorize it. And then we'll say, let's use the NIV version. If you are there, say, "I am there." Let's go. Ready? Go. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find. We're going to substitute the word faithful with the word loyal. The synonym for loyal is faithful. Well, you can read any version, but I'll be working with NIV. So let's go. Ready? Go. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a loyal person who can find. Let's do it again. Ready? Go. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a loyal person who can find. Again. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a loyal person who can find. Holy Spirit, I come to you as your humble servant, not an authority on this subject. I'm still a student of the scriptures. I'm not ashamed to ask you for help. Grant me insight and let me speak to your people according to your dictates. Let every heart be subject. Let every soul obey your word. We bind any contrary spirit that would lift itself above the word. We abase it in the name of Jesus. Minister to us spiritually and in every area. In Jesus' name, amen. According to this scripture, loyalty is a scarce commodity. I took time to study this subject, and I came to a conclusion that the most important virtue God expects of us is loyalty. To the extent that in Matthew 25, the parable of the talent, is it not amazing that the master judged their success not necessarily based on the fact that they were able to double the capital he gave them. He said, "Thou good and faithful." So the measure of our success in ministry is loyalty. Thou good, thou loyal, thou truthful, thou honest, thou faithful servant. And I dare stoke a controversy this morning that Christ did not call us to be successful. He called us to be faithful. God didn't call us to be successful. His priority is our faithfulness to him. And to the leaders, he called us to serve. When I checked the meaning of the word loyal, that's what I got. Providing constant support, allegiance, dedication, commitment to a cause, to a belief, to a philosophy, to an institution, to a person. Let's go to Hebrews 3, 1-6. And how Jesus himself immortalized or exemplified loyalty. Therefore, holy brothers and sisters who share in the heavenly calling, fix your thoughts on Jesus, whom we acknowledge as our apostle and high priest. Let's go on. He was what? Talk to me. Look here. He was what? He was what? Now replace the word faithful with loyal. He was what? To who? Now, so who are we supposed to be loyal to? To the appointing authority. Everybody was appointed by somebody. In Ghana, there's a proverb that says that if you see a dog on a tree, it is obvious that somebody carried the dog and put there. But if you see a monkey on a tree, it is no news. How many agree with me? Even wives were appointed by somebody. Your husband appointed you. If your husband did not marry you, you will not become Mrs. In every institution, somebody gave you an appointment letter. We are all here today because this man appointed us. I am preaching here today because this man appointed me and said, this week I'm giving you my pulpit. Come and clear your throat and exercise your giftings. The day you forget the one who appointed you, that is the day you began becoming disloyal. And one of the causes of this loyalty is forgetfulness. When people forget where they derive their source of authority and power, and the person who is sharing that authority and privilege with them. And as we look at several examples, you get to understand that. Now look at this. He was loyal to the one who appointed him, just as Moses was faithful, loyal in all of God's house. Now, you may say that, well, Jesus Christ, he was a superior human being, so he could be, loyalty was in his genes. What about Moses? Moses was a human being like you and I. The Bible says no human being has been faithful, apart from Christ, than Moses. And not only in one area of God's house, in every area. So loyalty is demanded in every area. Remember, your marriage, your home is an extension of God's house. Your business, so you have to be loyal, not only in the church, not only to God, but to your boss, to your husband, to any appointing authority. In the choir, in the ushering department, everywhere, whoever is your leader, you have to be faithful in all of God's house. Let's read on. Jesus has been found worthy of greater honor than Moses, just as the builder of a house has greater honor than the house. So the builder is the appointing authority. Who builds an institution? Who builds the home? It's the man. He brought the woman to come and assist him to build, because the man cannot build the home alone. So this loyalty to your husband, respecting your father more than your husband, obeying your boss more than your husband, is disloyalty in the home. It's an error. There's something wrong with that. Let's read on. For every house is built by someone. You cannot suddenly think that you and the Jinwa are at the same level. You and your husband, you and your boss, because you have degrees. So, or you are smarter than your boss. No. Somebody's in charge. Somebody built somebody. Somebody started something. And somebody came to help. So how come suddenly the helper is now more important than the one who started it? It cannot be. The next verse. Moses was faithful as a servant. So you see, one of the requirements of loyalty is service and submission to authority. Now let me tell you, the reason why servant spirit is important. Loyalty demands that when your interests conflict with the interests of the person you are loyal to, immediately your interest must give way to the superior interest. So Jesus, when his interest conflicted with the Father, he said, Father, not my will. Even though this time I disagree with the Father, and that's why I like Peter. Luke 5, the Bible says when he sailed all night and caught nothing, and Jesus Christ said, cast your net into the water. It didn't make sense. How can a carpenter come and instruct a fisherman how to fish? And it happens all the time. There are times your boss, you may be more educated than your boss, or you may even be a better preacher than the Jew. Yes. You may be wiser than him. But Christ said, Lord, at thy word. Even though I heard from God. But Jesus also says that this is what must be done. Loyalty demands that you must bury yours as a local church. You must bury yours and let the interests of the one you are loyal to take precedence over yours. Look at verse 6. But Christ is faithful as the son over God's house. And we are his house, if indeed we hold firmly. Now go back to Philippians 2. Let's see how Jesus, he chose to be a son. Philippians 2 verse 5. The extent to which Christ was loyal. Philippians 2 verse number 5. In all your relationship with one another, have the same mind as Christ had. Look at verse 6. Who being in a very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped. Some of us, we are opportunists. Jesus and the Father were equal. In fact, Christ is the God manifesting himself as son. But Jesus chose to humble himself. That's why I respect the board of elders of the church, the GEG. How Jesus Christ chose to humble himself to the Father. He took a second-class position. And when he came on earth, he never promoted himself. He promoted the Father. Christ, what? Christ never promoted himself. He came to promote the Father. And now, when the Father was pleased, see, the Father also promoted the Son. He said, this is my beloved Son. That's how ministry should be. The subordinate are loyal. They promote the Father. And Christ said, when I'm exalted, I will draw you. When the GO is lifted up, he will draw you. You see, when two people are climbing a tree, assuming I'm climbing and I say, push me. We are all climbing, but you push me. And then it gets to a point and you say that you didn't know that the ripe mango was big enough. So for Pastor Wengam to enjoy it alone, I will teach him a lesson. So midway, you decided not to push me. You decided to leave me hanging there. Meanwhile, you are also beneath me. Now, if I fall, who will fall first? Talk to me. Who will fall first? You the one supposed to carry me. In Assemblies of God, Ghana, we have a very strong policy. The policy is that the senior pastor single-handedly appoints the associate pastor. And the truth is that the tenure of the associate pastor is tied to the tenure of the senior pastor. So the day the senior pastor is leaving, he and all the associates are going. So at Cedar Mountain Chapel, all my associates, their tenure is tied to my tenure. If I die today, immediately all of them, their appointment is revoked. Oh, yeah. Then the EC will now sit and consider fresh names, including them. Then they will look at other things like loyalty, unity, or the church, blah, blah, blah. So even though I have an assistant now, it is not automatic. And he knows. And it's good because it makes assistants loyal. Because if you think you chuk your boss and they'll claim and you come, if I'm going, oh yeah, all of us are going. All of us are going. I pack, you pack. I came and you came. I go, you go. Gio, you may consider that in future. It was silence. Everybody will find his level. Hello. Let's look at a few examples of people who were disloyal in the Bible. Look, Genesis 13, Lot in the Bible, quickly. Genesis 13. So Abraham went up from Egypt to Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot with him. Abraham had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From the Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, the place. The next verse. And where he had first built an altar. Next. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abraham, also had flocks, herds, and tents. Where did Lot get the flock from? Abraham was the one God called. And his brother's son was Lot. Lot was an orphan. So Abraham decided to adopt Lot. Now, there's something we call blessing by association. Many people don't know. When you associate with a blessed man, you are also blessed. But sometimes, when those who are blessed by association, sometimes it gets into their head and suddenly they think that they are also blessed in their own right. Are you here? So Abraham started giving him, he gave 1 goat, then 10, then 5, gave him some servants. So his business also started growing. Let's read on. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were great, so that they were not able to stay together. But an quarreling arose between Abraham's herdsmen and Lot's, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. The next one. So Abraham said to Lot, let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herdsmen and mine, for we are close what? Relatives. So Abraham said to Lot, let's not, the next one, it's not the whole land before you, let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan towards Zoar was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the next verse. And what did he do? So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out toward the east. The 2 men parted company. Abraham lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tent near Sodom. Now the people, because of time, listen. Lot, you are the nephew of Abraham. He picked you from nowhere and started making you. Now there was a little problem, and those things will always happen. In 1 Corinthians 3, it happened in the church at Corinth. I belong to Apollos. I belong to Paul. I like Pastor Charles preaching. As for me, I like Pastor Simon. As for Pastor Ken, when he takes the mic, then something is moving through my stomach. As for me, as for Pastor Katembo, those things, it will happen. When David killed Goliath, the women will always sing. I told you, members will always be members. The sheep are always sheep. The sheep will always be sheep. Then, Abraham, out of maturity, saw that this thing will end in confusion. So he said, simple. Let's part companies. Even though I'm the eldest, I'm the senior pastor, I'm giving you the opportunity. Go and look at the land and choose. What? He has been dreaming of this long ago. I believe in my spirit. He has been dreaming of this because the spirit with which he went out. I don't know whether they have lands commission. You have which department handles that? I'm sure Lot went to the big man and gave him a tip and said, take me around and show me all the. And Lot chose the most fertile land and left the barren land for the man who made him who he was. What is more disloyal than this? The man, through his ministry, God called you. He blessed your marriage. He named your children. His covering has brought you to where you are today. You have members. Suddenly you are a branch pastor and you think that, oh, Pastor Charles, the anointing, he's not seeing. I told my church, one day a radio listener came and said, Pastor, I like you. I like your preaching, but you see, you don't see. So I want you to see things, prophesy, I said, see me trouble now. I said, you want me to see? I said, monkey no fine. Lot obviously was disloyal. What should Lot have done? Lot should have remembered where he was coming from and said, Papa, I beg you, I am blessed by association. I'll go and call my men to order that from today they must know that you are the landlord. But if you insist, I beg you, you choose first. Loyalty demand you put the interests of the one you are loyal to above your personal, parochial, selfish interests. And see the end of Lot. He went without the blessing of Abraham. See his end. It took the same Abraham who had to intercede to rescue him, but he lost his wife. He lost his wife. I pray that you and I will not be like Lot. I curse every Lot spirit inside you and inside myself. The prodigal son, Luke 15 from verse number 11. Another example of this loyalty. Jesus continued. There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, Father, give me my share of the estate. So he divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant, and there squandered his wealth on wild living. Look here. These loyal people always want to be independent. In fact, one of the signs of this loyalty is they belong to a family, but they are still independent. So they claim they are GCI, but if you go to the branch church or you go to the choir, GO gives a directive and he does the opposite. They try to be on their own. They try to build their own empire. He said he went to a long place. So even though he's still in the group, his heart is not there. He left and squandered all he had. That was a sign. And normally these loyal people are selfish. They are thinking of what they want to get, what they want now. So everything they want now. So they bought a car for the senior pastor, they too now. They can't wait. Forgetting that GCI started for over 20 years before, probably they bought a car for you. You just came, said, now I can't wait. Hasteful spirit is a sign or a mark of this loyalty. Another person is Lucifer. Isaiah 14, reading from verse number 12. Let's interrogate that. Lucifer, the first person to be disloyal. How have you fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn? You have been cast down to the earth. You once laid low the nations. You said in your heart. So you see, this loyalty starts from the heart. When the heart is bitter, when the heart is no longer appreciative, satisfied with the level where you are, that's where it starts. He said in his heart, I'll raise my throne above the stars of God. So the devil comes. For how long will you be an associate? 22 years. This man, he won't die now. You see the way he's strong? He won't die now. If you wait for Pastor Charles, you'll be 72. Hurry up, hurry up. And if God doesn't help you, you don't have a good wife like Mama Mercy, then you're in trouble. When the devil enters the heart of your wife, That is why, if you know you have ministry, don't just go and marry anything, no. Marry somebody like Mrs. Mercy, or like my wife, or like Queen, or like Dr. Raquel. Sometimes, you see, the devil went to the woman first. When Adam went, he went to the woman. So they start talking, you this cry in the church cry, you see, he's still carrying Jesus back, and you, dear, you be there. Me, I won't talk. I'm just trying to advise you, okay? Okay. You be there. That's how they start. I will sit enthroned on the mount. So these loyal people are never satisfied, content with what they have, where they are. They think that they deserve more. On the utmost mount of Mount Zaphon. Let's go on. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Geo. I'll make myself like my husband. I want to become a manager. Me too. I will. They won't. You see, they won't let God make them. They won't let the big man make them. They want to make themselves. They usurp authority. So Saul was disloyal. He usurped the authority of the prophet Samuel. And you know the end of Lucifer. The end of disloyalty is never pleasant. Peter. No, before then, Judas. Let's go to Luke 22, 1-6 and John 12. Another person in the Bible was disloyal was Judas. Luke 22. Now the festival of unleavened bread, called the Passover, was approaching. And the chief priests and the teachers of the law, listen, they were looking for some way to get rid of Jesus, for they were afraid of the people. Now see what the minister of finance, the treasurer, I don't know about Kenya, but in Ghana, when everybody is elected president, there are some positions that, right from history, no president has compromised. Number 1, finance. Number 2, national security. Number 3, foreign affairs. Because these 3 positions, if it gets to your Judas, or if it goes to Lucifer, hey, you are finished. So I can dare say that of all the disciples, Jesus was trusted with Judas. He handled the money, the purse. I trust my treasurer. I don't play with that. The day you appoint your enemy as treasurer, then you are a fool. Never appoint somebody who opposes it. No. Somebody you trust will not dip the hand into the money and will do the right thing. Then Satan entered Judas. Listen, nobody is immune from disloyalty. You can be loyal today, but disloyal tomorrow. Nobody is immune. If Satan could enter the heart of a disciple, Jesus prayed all night to appoint him. Jesus prayed all night to appoint Judas. He was one of those he prayed all night. True or false? He had entered his heart. Now see what happened. The next one. And Judas went. It wasn't the chief priest who came to negotiate with Judas. It was Judas who got up. He went and said, I want to betray my boss. What will you give me? So, these loyal people are materialistic. They place material things above their calling. For them, money, prestige, position, car, house, image is more important than their calling. So Judas goes and said, and Judas went to the chief priest. They did not come to him. So if you are the one who goes to the enemies of this man, or you go looking for those who oppose this man to align with them, then you are disloyal. You are going to look for trouble for him or trouble for your pastor. He went, and the officers of the temple discussed with them how he might betray Jesus. Let's read on. They were delighted and agreed to give him money. He consented and watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over. So you see, the loyal people are always looking for opportunity. So they find everything wrong with what you do. When you preach, hey, your grandma. The next time, hey, the sermon cry, he preached it before. They are always looking for. They will criticize from your shoe to your hair to your daughters dancing and how you park your car at the wrong place. And now if you cry this day, you don't hear from God. They are always look at an opportunity to do what? And his motivation was what? Money. John 12. Let me prove that to you. John 12. John chapter 12. 6 days before the Passover, the next verse. Here a dinner was given in honor of Jesus. The next verse. Then Mary took about half a liter of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But one of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Let's move on. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. Let me pause here. There's loyal people are not happy when their boss is promoted. Anytime you are corporate people, learn this, Elder Najoli, in the office. If there's any subordinate who is not happy when you are being promoted, be careful. You, Judas, you should be happy that somebody brought a year's perfume to anoint your master. You should even get up and clap and say, well done, woman, God bless you. But he sat there, he was angry and started complaining. And why should you take this money? And there are poor people in the church. And you see, and that's what they do. They try to sound as if they are more humane than the leader. Any leader who start talking in the church, behave as if he is more visionary, he think they should spend. Watch them. Watch them. They are dangerous. They are Judas. You think I didn't even ask the woman to go and buy it? The woman used her own accord. And why is pastor traveling too much? Is the girl, look at the way the wife is dressing. But when I started Cedar Mountain, his stomach was not big like this. Look at these cheeks. See one money? One money? He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As a keeper of the money, he used to bless himself. Watch out for those who think they are more caring than the leader. They are dangerous. We saw it in Africa, the days of coup. One comes, Redemption Power Council. And the former government are corrupt and blah, blah, blah. They came and were worse. You watch our history. Those who came promising redemption, we don't know about here, but Ghana, we had it. The redemption, what? Revolutionary, this and that. All of them came. May the Lord help all of us. Nobody is immune to this loyalty. Look at Peter, Matthew 26:69. Peter was this loyal at a point. But you see, some people, some people, when they are disloyal and they repent, they should be given a second chance. Some too, allow them to go and hang themselves. As for the Judas, let them go and hang themselves. But the Peter was warned. I don't know why I'm even teaching about this. I don't know. But maybe tomorrow you will become disloyal. I am preaching. The Pastor Wengam cry to come and talk about power or prayer or something. You know, what is all this thing about? So even though you're here, your mind is at somewhere. But you see, Christ warned Peter. Peter, you betray me. Say, me? I swear. And Jesus laughed. A small girl said, when they arrested Jesus, said, this man, are you not Pastor Mulema's GCI? Shut up. Get away from here. Oh. You see, Pastor Greg says that loyalty is tested in the time of adversity. You find out those who are loyal when things are not going well. That is when you know whether somebody is loyal. Whether they will share the blame or they will push the blame to one person. The sons of Noah, Genesis 9:18-27. The sons of Noah. Who were disloyal to their father? The sons of Noah who came out of the ark, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These were the three sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered abroad. That's okay. We know that. 20. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered. The truth is that Noah had no business to getting drunk. You see, leaders are human beings. So Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9, allow me to go out with my wife. He said, because I'm an apostle, shouldn't I enjoy? So because we are pastors, members, they deserve to ride the best car. Pastors, we should always ride rickety, matatu, or matata or what? Trotro. Matatu. So he got drunk. Look, when the leader is wrong, let God judge him. Because two wrongs doesn't make a right. So what happens? Let's read on. Quick. 22. But Shem and Japheth, go back to 22. I didn't read 22. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his two brothers outside. Your pastor is not an angel. Your boss in the office is not an angel. When you see us in the pulpit, you only see the nice side of us. Go and ask our wives. One day I asked my wife, am I a good man? He said, I said, hey. I said, monkey no fine. And by chance, so you see, once you do that, you will see our weakness. One day you see Pastor Wengam lose his school, and you will see a weakness in your boss. We are human. He went outside and told them out, not even inside. Pastor Jas, when I married first, I wanted to be a romantic husband. And that they wanted to score political points that day too. I had two agendas. So I said I'll accompany my wife to the saloon. After that day, I vowed I would never. Somebody asked me why. I'll tell you the next time I come. Okay, someone. I sat there reading newspaper, and there were two other ladies who were in the machine, hair dryer. And guess their conversation? They were discussing their pastor. What they did to the pastor they shredded him, tore him, massacred him, dismembered him. And what pained me, they didn't even care about those of us who were there. Just talking loud, mentioning the pastor's name. I said, hey. So this one, Ham, was his lawyer. Let's see what the other two did, whether they were also lawyer, disloyal. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. And they walked backward and covered their father's naked body. Their faces were turned to the other side. They didn't want to be a partaker of seeing the weakness of their father. That is how loyal people behave. Amen. They cover the leader, even when the leader is wrong. They find nice excuses. They don't go like Judas. They don't rather go and advertise. As for our church, hey, maybe there's someone. Hey, your church is good though. As for our own, we are praying. You have spoken already. You have spoken already. By your demeanor, by your body language, you've spoken already. So, they come for leaders meeting, then they'll seclude themselves. They go and sit at the corner somewhere. Cross their leg. Make their face straight. When everybody knows that leaders meeting, you talk that day. So, maybe men kasa after when you talk, they don't even listen. What kasa we? What kasa? So for pack. What kasa we? You by the look on you, spoken volumes.
You've told everybody that what the pastor is doing is bad. He doesn't listen. He's arrogant. So stop playing the hypocrisy that you don't want to talk. You've spoken already. Lawyer. Look, I have served as associate pastor in 3 churches. I covered. Because no leader, I'm not a perfect human being. I'm sure I have my weaknesses. Don't be the person who broadcasts the weakness of your leader. Because one day, when your boss gets to know, a story is told of a very terrible boss in the corporate world. He's always yelling, screaming on the staff, anything. So one day they came to work and they saw that his zip was open. Now, who will go and tell him? Because this a man, you not even land. Hey! Go and do your work. So they all agreed that the personal secretary said, hey, me, I beg you. Then they said, if you don't, and he sees it, you are working close with him, you bad. So the lady had to bear the blame, gathered courage. So she knocked at the boss's door. The man was on the phone. As soon as he opened, boss, hey, what is it? Go away. Don't need time on the phone. Don't need time on the phone. She said, thank God. So when the boss yelled, he said, oh, sir, the office door is open. He said, what office door is open? I know who opened the office door. So later, the boss discovered that the zip was open. Then he was like, was that which my secretary was trying to communicate to me? So he called her. Secretary, come. What did he say? Did he say the office door was open? Did he see the officer inside? What would be your answer? Just seeing the door open, you yelled at me. Even if I saw the officer inside. Me. I didn't see, sir. I didn't see the officer. Please, I didn't see the officer. Whether the officer was fair or that, sorry you. Whether it was medium size, sorry you, or extra large, I didn't see you. I didn't see. Whether it's extra large, I beg you, sir, I didn't see. Somebody say Miriam and Aaron. Numbers 12. I'll be done soon. Numbers 12. Let's see. Let's do our checklist and see whether Miriam and Aaron were loyal in this matter. Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife. For he had married a Cushite. Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? They asked. Hasn't he also spoken through us? The day you feel that you and your boss are the same level, that is the day you started displaying this loyalty. Every day, Gio, God says. Every day, Pastor Simon, God says. I'm the only person God speaks to. Even me, when I sleep, the other day, I saw Jesus. He came. He even fixed my earring was removed, and he even touched it and fixed it. I saw him. Even my husband cried, his trousers cried. He even came and pulled it. Moses had an issue with his marriage, and you have a problem. Why are you now going? Now you have left the core matter. You are now criticizing. Now, you see, the thing was his marriage. Now they are no longer talking about the marriage. They are now talking about something that was beyond them. Be careful areas you veer into, especially in the ministry. Are you the only person God speaks to? Because they give you the chance to preach in Watawala. Hey, what your name? Utawala. I said Watawala. Sorry. Because Pastor Katembo traveled and he gave you some 2 Sundays and you preach and the members clap for you. Oh, you even preach better than Pastor Katembo. Members will tell you that. Yeah. No, they will tell you that. Yeah. Members, you too. You too. You members, you too. You are the cause of all our hala. You are the cause. You members. You members. You. Lack of discretion. Can you imagine? You know what my members told me? I exposed them. Yeah, Pastor, when you came here, you preach power. So what are you telling me? So when I'm in Cedar, it means I've been playing. But I understand them. You know why? The same way when Pastor Charles comes to our church, because you are so used to him, a prophet has no honor in his home. Period. I have not preached anything different. I'm the same person. It's just that here, the atmosphere, they receive it so, but over there is all. So, what is it? It's true. So sometimes I bring a guest preacher, and members will let you, the pastor, feel as if, as for you, you are useless. See, the way Pastor Charles preach, lead pastor must start preaching like that. Oh, I brought the man to come and compliment my ministry. Now you are telling me that. Okay, next time he won't come again. You see how you make pastors even deny you of very good ministry. So if I'm not matured, so let's read on quickly. Now Moses was a very humble man. Because he was humble, they took him for granted. Hey, don't let your pastor become sophisticated. You are blessed to have a down-to-earth pastor. But if you take him for granted, he will change. He's a human being. Some of you wives, you have made your husbands tigers. And you turn around and blame them. Your husband was a quiet man. Quiet man. Washing bowls for you. Now one day you behave as if it is his job. Then the man rebelled. From that day, your husband is now a tiger and you are not crying. So when we are humble, rather lift us up, make us feel good that we are humble. But if we are humble and then you think, oh, Pastor, dear. So see what happened. They criticized him, and what happened? Well, quickly. At one, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, come out. You have been disloyal. So they came out. All three of you, yes. Then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud. He stood at the entrance, and what? Miriam came forward and became a leper. Because if they had said, oh, Gio, there's something we don't understand. So we came to seek clarification. This your new wife that you've married, we are a bit confused. Can you explain? What will be the reaction of Gio? Dan, when I come, Gio, you are becoming proud. When we started GCI, you were very humble. Now everything God says, why did you go and marry this woman? Why? Why didn't you consult the board? Now tell me, the two, how will he react to the two of them? Differently. So go to the leader, giving the leader a little credit. Sometimes you make the leader feel that he hasn't even got a thinking cap on. Sometimes, I don't know about here, but Ghana, when you open to radio and they are talking about our president, they make the president feel as if the president doesn't even know how to write his name. The way they criticize government policy. I said, oh, so can't you give the president a little credit? So don't talk as if the leader, look, nobody cares about GCI more than this man. I said it yesterday. All of you here, all of you can go. The only person who can never go is this man. Now, can he resign? If he resigns, where is he going? I beg you. This man can resign and go. All this year, they can resign and go. Oh, yes, they can go. This man, where will he go? No, oh, let's be fair. I said, if he resigns, where will he go? So, would he be reckless to take decisions that would destroy the church? No. So, when issues happen, just credit the leader with a little wisdom. And that will inform the way you approach the matter. Let me give you the last example. I'll continue. I think my time is up. I'll continue, God willing, this evening. Let me give you an example of one loyal person, and I'll bring it to a close. I don't want you to live with only negatives in your head. The elder son, the elder brother of the prodigal son. Let's go to Luke 15, 25 to 32. Luke 15, 25 to 32. Meanwhile, the elder son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked him what was going on. Your brother has come, he replied, and your father has killed the fattened calf. You see, sometimes the way people describe things also aggravate. So be careful about reported speeches. When you are not at the board meeting, be careful how the others reported the matter to you, because the person reporting, if he's bitter about the decision, he will decide differently. Because these loyal people are always recruiting more people. They want to be many. These loyal people, they always want to recruit more people to join them. So be careful how they will describe things to you. Monkey the work. See the way you have suffered for your father? Your brother who was so reckless, this lawyer left, he just came. The goat that you have suffered, you remember the other day, even you broke your leg, when you were sending it to the veterinary, your father has taken it and killed it. What? So do something. Do something. I'm sure that servant, his salary was in arrears, so he wasn't happy. Do something. Hurry up. Go and fire the old man. Go do something. We are behind you. All of us are hungry. Meanwhile, he's alone. All of us. The church, more than half. Meanwhile, most of the time, things that happen, most of the members don't even know. Most of the members, let me tell you the truth. Members, is it not true? Members who come to church, they don't even care about what happens at the board level. What the members want, they come, they hear the word, and they go. So those who try to mark it, every pastor, everybody is against you. They are lying. It's only one or two. Only one or two. True or false? So, let's go to the next verse. The elder brother became angry. For once, he was disloyal. You too. Refuse going. You heard one side of the story, you are angry. That was disloyalty. That was disloyalty. How can you make judgment based on one side? He didn't trust his father. So, all of us, once a while, become disloyal. All of us, once a while. All of us. But the disloyalty should be small. Your own should not be like Lucifer, whose own was too gangantuan. Yours should be small. The elder brother became angry, refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. Some of you too, you are too difficult. Even when the big man is begging, that is when your kakapus, that is when I feel you should, oh, no, this one, I can't forgive. Lead pastor, this one, they are shimepa. You have the jingle begging you. Recently, I had an issue in my church, a couple. I blessed their marriage. They brought the matter. The guy says, I say, hey, be careful. Jill, I had to kneel down and beg them. Somebody's marriage, because I foresee what was coming. Then they had, oh, lead pastor. Then they started crying. As I won't get up. I wanted them to cry more. Oh, lead pastor. Then I took my handkerchief. Hey, don't do that. You see, you make the pastor work very, very difficult. Then they had to go up. I said, you see, hug your wife. Foolish boy. The father begged him, let's move on. But he answered his father, look, all these years I've been slaving for you. That's my point. Loyal people serve for long. Disloyal people, 1 year, 2 years, 3. Then they want to jump out of the boat. Yeah, this guy has served the father for so long. Like Pastor Simon, 22 years. I will have to give you, I think the whole of Africa, we have to give you an award. I never disobeyed you. So disobedience is disloyalty. I never disobeyed you. Yet you never. We too, sometimes we were also part of the problem. No, Pastor, you're not part. Me. This one, I'm preaching to myself, not Pastor Charles. We to first cheerleaders to sometimes give them the small goat. He said, oh, you give me small goat to also let me also enjoy small. But still, I was still side with the father. Because he didn't know that the father had a bigger plan than small goat. Which one do you want? Small goats than giving you all that I have. Which one do you want? Okay, let's vote. Let's vote. How many want small goat? But the first one, you didn't raise your hand. How many want all that he had? So that is the reward of loyalty. Those who wait to the end, they get the bigger share. Shall we pray? I believe this teaching is good because tomorrow we are consecrating our bishop. And Pastor Chad, the Lord told me that tomorrow GCI is going to be rebirthed. Tomorrow's event has spiritual significance. God is now taking GCI to your next level. I now understand why the Lord impressed on me to teach about loyalty. I didn't understand why. I had finished preparing the main sermon. Then the Lord said, go back. He said, if you go and preach that thing you are going to preach, I'm not inside. And when the Lord doesn't speak a word, he will not back his word. Let's lift our two hands. I pledge allegiance to
the land with all my strength, with all I am. I will seek to honor his command. I pledge allegiance to the land. I pledge allegiance to the land.
Come on.
With all my strength, with all I am, I will seek to honor his
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to